When you walk through an Amish farm, there's something different about the soil under your boots. It's darker, richer, more alive. Crops stand straighter, leaves hold a deeper shade of green, and the yields are often double what many backyard gardeners can dream of. And yet these farmers rarely rely on synthetic fertilizers or modern soil amendments. Instead, they turn to traditions passed down through generations, including one little-known practice centered around what I call their lost crop. This isn't just about planting, it's about restoring the soil itself to a state of fertility that keeps giving year after year. Today, I want to share with you exactly what that means, why it works, and how you can bring the same principles into your own garden. The Amish have always understood something that modern agriculture often overlooks. Soil is not just dirt, it's a living system. When they farm, their goal isn't just to grow crops, it's to build soil. While many of us rush to spread compost or sprinkle fertilizer, they invest time in crops that do the work of replenishing nutrients naturally. Their soil looks almost black crumbles in your hands and smells earthy because it's alive with microbial activity. The key is in how they rotate and incorporate what outsiders often dismiss as simple fodder crops, but which they know as tools for fertility. So the crop I'm talking about is spelt, an ancient grain that has been quietly maintained in Amish farming systems while disappearing from mainstream agriculture. To many modern gardeners, spelt doesn't seem impressive. It's not as flashy as quinoa or as familiar as wheat. But to Amish farmers, it's a soil builder of the highest order. When grown in rotation, spelt's deep root system penetrates compacted soil, breaking it apart and improving aeration. At the same time, its roots feed soil organisms, which in turn release nutrients that become available for the next planting. In other words, spelt creates a foundation that allows other crops to thrive long after it's gone. One of the most overlooked benefits of spelt is, honestly, its ability to produce dense biomass. When you cut it down, whether for animal feed or green manure, that organic matter doesn't just disappear. Instead, it becomes food for the soil. Amish farmers often return this plant matter directly back into the ground, ploughing it under so it can decompose and add a steady supply of carbon. Over time, this not only enriches the soil with nutrients, but also, improves its water-holding capacity. That means crops planted afterward resist drought stress far better, which is a crucial advantage for both large-scale farms and, honestly, small kitchen gardens alike. In modern gardening circles, we often focus on quick fixes, bags of compost, store-bought fertilizer blends, or liquid feeds. And while these all have their place, they don't build long-term fertility in the way a cover crop like spelt does. Amish farmers know that by putting time into the soil, they're not just feeding one season's harvest, they're laying a foundation for generations. Spelt is hardy, tolerates poor soils, and thrives even in cooler conditions, making it perfect for transitional seasons when other crops won't take. If you're looking to give your garden a natural reset, this is the crop you've likely overlooked. Bringing spelt into your gardening rotation is, honestly, surprisingly simple. You just plant it in the autumn as a cover crop, let it grow through the cooler months, and then cut it back before it heads into full maturity. You can, till it lightly into the soil or just chop and drop it as mulch. Either way, the result is the same, a nice flush of organic matter that feeds your soil life and really improves structure. What Amish farmers have perfected over centuries is, in truth, really no different than what you can do on a small scale. All it takes is planning, patience, and, well, a bit of consistency. While spelt is, the star of this conversation, the real takeaway here is the philosophy behind it. Healthy soil isn't built overnight, and it isn't sustained by a single amendment. It comes from viewing your garden as a cycle where every plant, every root, and every season has a role to play. The Amish never lost this perspective, and that's why their soil continues to thrive. You know, for us, adopting even just a fraction of that mindset, whether that's through spelt, clover, or another cover crop, can really transform not only the fertility of our beds, but also the sustainability of our gardening practices. So, the next time you're tempted to pull out the fertilizer bag as a quick solution, maybe take a page from the Amish tradition. Consider planting a lost crop like spelt to do the heavy lifting for your soil. It's a slower, more patient approach, but honestly, it's one that pays dividends in healthier plants, stronger harvests, and soil that just keeps getting better with time. If you've ever struggled with tired, depleted garden beds, this could very well be the missing link in your rotation. If you found this guide helpful and want more deep dives into forgotten traditions that can revolutionize your garden, make sure you hit subscribe to Gentle Herb Living and turn on notifications. And do share this video with a fellow gardener who's been fighting with poor soil, because this is knowledge worth spreading. Together, we can rebuild fertility the natural way, one bed at a time.